So the weekend has arrived, also known as planning time. Hi, my name is Celeste. I am the homeschooling mom to 3 boys. And in this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process of how I plan for our homeschool week. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the process that I use to be able to plan a homeschool week. But first, I quickly wanted to go through the materials that I use every week to help me in my planning. So the first thing I use is my mom homeschool planner. So I did a video showing the look inside this planner. I'll be sure to link that down below. I also use my personal planner. I use my computer. I use my file tote for paper files. And then the 2 paper items that I use are the weekly checklist as well as just a blank notebook sheet for note taking. So those are all the things that I need to be able to plan a homeschool week. So the first step in my planning process is closing out the previous week. So the first part of that is going into my electronic record keeping system to do all the logging from that week. I actually shared a video previously, and I'll make sure to link that down below, of the actual electronic system that I use to log the information. So the things that I log here are attendance records. I log the books that the boys have read. I log field trips that we've had. And then I also log any tests that they have taken. So I go inside my computer and I take all the papers, all the tests that they've taken, and I just log that into the system. So closing out last week is the first thing that I do. Once I have logged all of the paperwork and all the records from the previous week, then what I do is I go and I file it into my file, my paper file. So I take all their tests and I file it into our system. I hope to do a video very soon showing the process that I use to file their paperwork. So you can keep an eye out for that video. All right, step 2 in the planning process is taking the weekly checklist that I have for my boys and filling it out. So I shared a look inside of this, or look of how this is laid out, in our student binder video. So I'll be sure to link that video as well in case you'd like to check it out. But basically what I do is I go through and I fill out this form. So I'll show you kind of how this form works. I do fill it out electronically. So I actually do this all in the computer, but I printed it out just to be able to walk you through it and give you a better view at the form. Okay, so this is the weekly checklist that I use for my boys. I'll be sure to link this down below. This is created by Megan Phillips as a free download. So if you'd like to check it out, I'll be sure to link that. So the first thing I do, again, once I fill this out, I do it electronically, but I'm doing it just kind of paper just to show you. But I put my student's name, I put the week of school that we're doing, and then in this part is any special activities. So that is when I go into my personal planner and I open up to the week that we're doing school, and I check our personal calendar to see if there's any special activities or things that are going on, and then I'll write that in here top for them. So at that point then I go into my teacher binder and I look inside and see what is the next lesson that they need to do for each of their subjects. So I explained a little more, or a detailed look inside of this, in my teacher planner video. I'll be sure to link that down below. But basically what I do is I highlight the different assignments as they are completed so that I quickly can go and see, okay, this is the next assignment that's due for that specific subject. So for example, in math for my youngest son, I would see, oh, lesson 19 is the next lesson that he needs to do. So I take that information and then I go to this form and I fill it out. So let's just say for algebra, as an example, I would put like lesson 19. And then I would continue to fill it out for the week. Again, I do this electronically and then print it out for my boys at the end. One thing I also do is I will just X out anything up front that I know that they're not going to do. So I know we don't do creative writing or typing on Mondays. We don't do literature on Fridays. We don't do science on Fridays. So those are things that I automatically mark off. And then I'll just fill this out for the week for my son. And that way that he'll have that inside of his student binders to work on throughout the week. And as he completes each thing, he'll be checking it off independently. And then he has this as a record of his work. right, step 3 of the planning process, the final step, is pulling out all of the tests and the worksheets that the boys are going to need for that week. So I go into all of the all of my teacher books and all of their test booklets, and I rip all of that out and I get all of that material prepared and I put it inside my teacher binder. And that way I have it ready to go for the school week. Okay, so that is my planning process every week. It works very well for us. We've been using this system for a few years. I hope this video was of help to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I pray God blesses you and your family, and I'll talk to you soon.